The clock is ticking for TikTok. Yesterday, the House voted on a bill that could ban the app in the U.S. unless it parts ways with its Chinese parent company, ByteDance. The measure now heads to the Senate. President Biden says he will sign it if the bill reaches his desk. Joining us now to break down this information is Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery, Senior Fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me, Mary.
And let's take a step back here. There's been many attacks on TikTok from lawmakers. Why is Congress trying to ban this app?
Well, yeah, that is the big question, and it really is because we think that that divesting from TikTok is the only way to kind of balance the innovation that social media companies like TikTok bring with our national security. There's no way for the Department of Justice to oppose current laws to adequately mitigate against the national security threats that arise from a foreign ownership and foreign control of the algorithm that controls what you see in this. So TikTok can continue to exist. It just needs to be owned by either American or allied and partner countries, not by a country of concern, China.
Specifically, what is the threat that you're discussing?
So the threat is twofold. One is that they can change their algorithm in order to only project, to preferentially project stories that are run counter to U.S. national security interests or support Chinese interests. And we've seen that. We've seen that after October 7th. We've also seen it in reference to anything negative about China, such as the Tiananmen Square massacre or the Uyghur genocide. So the first is, that they can use that to shape what Americans see. The second is they can't protect our data. Even when they say they're keeping the data in the United States, the Chinese intelligence apparatus is able to access your personal data through ByteDance.
How likely will this bill pass the Senate, and how quickly could that happen?
I think the dynamic on that changed pretty significantly yesterday when more than 350 congressmen, in other words, a super majority of both the Republicans and the Democrats in the House of Representatives could come together on a serious issue. I mean, this wasn't naming a post office. This was a serious issue. They came together at a 90% level. That sends a strong message to the Senate. I think we've seen the Senate respond. It also helps that the president said, I'm already going to sign it if you bring it to me. So I think it went from something that might get done this year to something that will get done. And the question is, does it get done in the next 1 or 2 months, or does it get done during the lame duck after November? We're certainly pushing hard that it happens now.
And what about legal ramifications when it comes to TikTok? If this passes the Senate, are you expecting lawsuits, and then what comes after this?
Yes. Well, first of all, let's be clear. With the divestment, TikTok's investors are going to make a lot of money. And the only reason they wouldn't divest is if the Chinese Communist Party tells ByteDance, you can't sell, which, of course, will just reaffirm the position many of us have held that they're completely under the sway of the Chinese Communist Party. So the natural conclusion of this is a lot of investors make a lot of money and TikTok continues to operate. Now, the only way that's not true is if it turns out the Chinese Communist Party is willing to sacrifice hundreds of billions of dollars of its company and American investors to make a point.
Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery, Senior Fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you for having me.